What's going on, everybody? Ronnie with Hager, and appreciate the opportunity to put my face on a screen here and get an opportunity to share a little information with you. I'm going to do a little webinar today about 1099 reporting and what our process is going to be this year. So 1099 reporting is something that's been around for a long time. It's information that the IRS receives from businesses so that they have an understanding of who's getting paid what. And at the beginning of the year, it's one of those boxes that we have to check off. And especially in the past few years, several years back, they put a question on the tax return that said, were you required to file 1099s? And so every year we have to answer that question, yes or no. And in January, it's kind of spending some time gathering information and making sure that we get those filed by the end of the month. So I kind of wanted to just talk a little bit about what our process was going to be this year and kind of what I wanted to do regarding 1099 preparation and why it's important. So one of the things that I've noticed is that the IRS ended up saying that they were going to ramp up audits on small businesses. So compliance becomes really important because when the IRS is trying to decide who they're going to audit, what do we think they're looking at? They're looking for, the quote unquote, the red flags, right? So 1099 compliance seems to be one of those things to me that would be pretty easy to determine if somebody is really doing things the right way. If you file your 1099s and get them done, and that's just one less thing that the IRS kind of maybe would look at regarding your business. If you never file your 1099s and you have a big, good business, I mean, most businesses are going to use a contractor of some sorts. So I want to just kind of spell this out for you. When it comes to 1099 reporting, anybody that you pay more than $600 to that is not an employee needs to receive what's called a 1099 NEC. And if you read my last email, I kind of warned you about this. The 1099 NEC, I kind of joke, is back from the dead this year. It stands for 1099 non-employee compensation. That is a replacement of sorts to the 1099 miscellaneous. You've probably received 1099 miscellaneous in the past, and right now that box 7 where the non-employee compensation would have been on the 1099 miscellaneous now has its own separate form called the 1099 NEC. So if you see that this year, I don't want anybody to necessarily be alarmed, but that's kind of the major change that we're seeing. Now, as far as who needs to get a 1099, I mean, some that are really common are bookkeepers, lawyers, website designers. It's going to be your office cleaners. It's going to be handymen. I have a lot of real estate clients, so a lot of you guys use handymen for your rental properties. It's going to be if you hire somebody to help out with software development, it's going to be those types of consultants. Anybody who is set up as an S Corp or a C Corp, though, there's an exception to that. So one of the things that's really important for you guys is to request that everybody fills out a W-9 when you do work for somebody. So a couple things there is go through your bookkeeping, look and see who you're paying more than $600 to. Then it's a matter of deciding who is not an S Corp or a C Corp, and on the W-9 it'll tell you. And then kind of going through that process to get it filed. So I wanted to kind of spell out what my process was going to be. Over the next 2 or so weeks, I'm going to be gathering information. So, I'll be going through all my business clients, working with you guys on it, and trying to see, if you have a 1099 filing requirement. If you do, I'm going to put in the email that I'm going to send out with this video, an Excel kind of template where you can fill in the information that we would need to issue the 1099. I have a software that'll electronically file these things, and so towards the end of the month, I'll end up importing and putting everything into the software, creating the 1099s, mailing the 1099s before the January 31st deadline. So I really kind of want to try to make this as simple as possible, but together we'll be able to get through it really easy. I'm trying to make my videos a little more short and sweet. I'm sure there's probably some other questions that you guys have, but anyways, feel free to reach out to me and let me know what you need on that, and I'm happy to kind of come through and make it happen. If you just have a baseline 1099 situation where you just file a couple, my charge is going to be $75. If you have more than that and it's a little more time consuming and that sort of thing, then I'll charge a bit more than that. But you know, baseline $75 to get it done. I think it's well worth it. The penalties for not filing them are $50 each as a starting point. And more important than that, if you didn't 1099 somebody that you should have, the IRS can kind of go back and disallow some of the deductions. So I'm really focused on being compliant right now. I want to make sure that you know that we're here for you on this. That's what's going to kind of consume our time over the next couple weeks as we get ready to go into our tax filing season. So anyways, I hope everybody's doing well, and feel free to let me know if you have any questions, and I'm looking forward to getting these 1099s done. Thanks so much.